Hey Chickies, okay, today we are doing a Kawaii Kitty plus bubbles nail art. It's involved. It's longer than some of my normal videos, so I apologize for that in advance, but I really hope you stick around to the very end. Anywho, let's get into it. I really hope you like it. Now the first part of this Kawaii Kitty nail art is the background, and that's a gradient, so I'm using Simply Peel's liquid latex to protect the skin around my nails as per usual, because it just makes life so much easier when it comes to cleanup. And who doesn't want that? Now the polishes that I'm using for this particular gradient are all from iScream nails. They are so pretty, really pretty. They sent me their new colours, which I will detail in the description box down below as per usual. And as with any gradient, keep loading up your sponge and dabbing it on your nail until you get to the kind of strength of colour that you're really after. Once you've finished that, you can go ahead and take off the liquid latex, and therefore you'll have virtually nothing to clean up, which is always fun. Now after completing my cleanup, I decided to add a coat of I&M Nails Northern Lights in silver. It's such a pretty little glitter, I just love it so much. Now for the next part, we're going to create some bubbles using some white acrylic craft paint. Now at the very end, when you see this many at the very end, you'll think to yourself, well, why did she bother doing the bubbles, because you can hardly see them? Well, you're probably right, but I thought rather than taking the whole thing out of this video, I would show it to you anyway, because it's a really cool little process, and if you decided not to do everything else that I did, the bubbles at least are really fun, so I thought I'd do it anyway. So as you can see, I'm adding water to the acrylic craft paint until it gets to about the consistency of milk, I'd say, full cream milk. Now to put the bubbles on your nail, you can use a brush or you can use a dotting tool as well. So basically what you're going to do is either paint some circles, or using a dotting tool you can just put a dot of the white paint onto your nail and then just let it sit there for a while. The longer you let it sit there, the stronger the edges of the bubble will be. And as you can see, once you've waited for it to dry a little bit, you can use a Q-tip or maybe a dry brush as well and suck out the paint from the middle of the bubble. Now, as I said before, the longer you leave it, the stronger the bubble will be. I think I probably should have left it for a bit longer. I really do. Kind of stuffed up there. Oh well. But then they look really cute. I love them so much. They're so much fun. And you can do it with all sorts of different colours of paint as well. And even when you put the top coat over the top, you can still see them. But I wish I had have waited a little bit longer for them. Now after the top coat over the bubbles has completely dried, you can start painting the cat. I'm using the same acrylic craft paint that I used to create the bubbles, and so in this particular instance this cat has got a ginormous head, as you can see. It's like massive. It's like a bobblehead cat. Now once you finish painting your kitty, you can let it dry completely and then add a thin top coat like I&M Nails out the door, which is what I'm using. Now with the kitty on the accent nail, which is my ring fingernail, I decided to put some little white love hearts on my middle nail. No particular reason, just because I didn't know what else to put on there. Now to add the illusion of movement on each of these little love hearts, I've added two little lines on either side of them. I think I might have gone a little overboard, but I do think that it makes them look like they're moving. What do you think? So once all of that is dry, you can go ahead and use a top coat. I'm using Seche Vite this time. Now, once we've got all of that done, it's time to get onto the little kawaii kitty again. And for some insane reason, I decided I was going to line this entire kitty with black acrylic craft paint. Now, yes, I do have the ability to wipe it all off and start again because I put a top coat over that kitty, remember? So that, makes it a little bit easier to do this sort of thing. But generally speaking, I don't have the steadiest hand, and I was really proud of myself by the time I got to the end of this lining of this kitty because, wow, that's the best lining job I have ever done on anything ever in the... So sorry about that, iMovie cut me off. Yes, best lining job I've ever done on anything ever in the history of the world ever. So for the eyes, we're using a small dotting tool and then using the same liner brush just for 2 little whiskers on either side, and then the mouth looks a lot like a W, like a lowercase w. And once all of that is completely dry on the kitty, you can go ahead and top coat that as well, and again I'm using Seche Vite. And yes, at this point I think it's blindingly obvious that those bubbles are completely ineffectual and you can hardly even see them, they're so subtle, so it was pointless doing them. So on the index nail, for some reason, I'm not even really sure why, I decided to do some weird looking star things, just using some acrylic craft paint as per usual. And I think it had more to do with the fact that you could hardly see the bubbles on all of my nails anyway, so it didn't really matter what I did, to be honest. And that's it. I really hope you like this one, despite the fact that the bubbles were a pointless exercise. Anywho, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye, chickies. Oh, and thank you for subscribing. Thanks for that delicious thumbs up. And thanks for watching this whole video. Bye.